Poison ivy, poison ivy. Poison ivy, come creeping around. Yo, what up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, man, focus, man. Look, this is another one of my Why I Left Atlanta videos. It's a series now because the comments are just off the chain. I love it. I know I ain't saying, but I love y'all comments. But I recently had a, let me say this. Big up to my subscribers. All of my old and new, because I covered all of you, even though I only have, 1,000, I think 147 now. No, 1,147. I mean, I have over 100 subscribers this month, and this month isn't even over yet. 88 last month, 44 the month before. My subscribers are just doubling. And I appreciate you guys. I mean, I know it's not a big deal. I'm not at a million or nothing, but I'm one of those guys who ain't in a big hurry to get to a million, you know. I'd like to get to, 2,000-3,000 before the year's over. That's fine with me. I'm okay. And one person actually commented and was talking about my sports video and saying I'm making these videos and just to pay my rent on YouTube. I'm just like, have you seen my YouTube payments? Because I usually show them to everybody. I don't make a whole lot on YouTube, even though that number is going up. It's just like I make. I was making like $100 a year. so yeah, I'm out here making these YouTube videos just to make, $100 a year. No, man. I mean, last year I did $337. This year I'm at $140. So I am not making obscene amount. However, yeah, I will take that money in, use it for my rent. I've done it before. I used to get paid $100 a year, once every year. So anyway, but this is to my Atlanta. I gotta tell this story. This dude just commented, and it was one of the best comments I ever seen. I'm not gonna say what his YouTube name is. I'm just gonna leave that out. But basically, I am going to try to read this without laughing. And of course, it's kind of broken up. I'm a little under the weather. Y'all pray for me. Anyways, it says, I moved to Atlanta from Chicago in September. He said, bought a house 2017. I currently work for, he has a good job. He says, I currently work for, a good company. After I bought the house in Stone Mountain, I think my sister lives in Stone Mountain. In Stone Mountain, they announced a merger. I think, yeah. So they announced a merger, and he said I didn't like the merger, so I went and bought a real estate license. He's like, so he's gonna switch jobs. Basically, he said a lot of people are phony as hell here. He said jobs don't pay people. He says I feel lucky to make over $20 an hour. He said I plan on using my real estate skills and money to start my own business. Big ups to you, Broham. Atlanta does suck. He said he only dates Spanish women. He only dates Spanish women. He says, I have given up on black women. He said, you can sleep with them all day, but trying to talk to them, to get to know them, either they're strippers, they sell their body, or they're bisexual and swingers. Oh my goodness. I'm just keep reading comment later. He said, I seriously know 4 calls them beautiful sisters I can call to sleep with and, do sexual things to them, but no black women to talk to. So he can sleep with them, but he just can't sit up and talk to one. Let me stop right there. Listen, when I was in the service, I was in Germany, and I had to go to the hospital in Frankfurt. From Darmstadt to Frankfurt, you got to get on a couple trains. But Frankfurt is like the big place where the red light district is. I'm 19, never been to the red light district before. I go down to the red light district, And, that's where you go. It's a big sex, thing down there. That's the one place I knew somebody was going to talk to me. So I went in, I grabbed 50 marks, which is $30. I went down there, walked into one of them sex places, sat down. You had to have a bunch of coins, so you put your money in, you get a bunch of coins, and you feed the coin, and the opens up. And when the curtains opens up, it was a black woman there. I was like, it's a black woman in Germany. I didn't expect to see a black prostitute, but she's behind the glass. You can't touch her or anything. You're supposed to tell her your sexual fantasies, and she doesn't. She's there naked, and I'm looking at her. And she, getting ready to go into her whole thing. She says, what do you want me to do? I says, I just want you to talk to me. And she says, oh, you're lonely. I said, yes. Like, I'm from America. I'm a soldier. I just really wanted to talk. I can't even tell you what her body looked like besides she looked good. But I can't tell you what the lower half of her body looked like. I can't remember. But I can remember her face. I kept putting coins in there until I ran out. I ain't had no more money, and we tried to stop the curtain from closing because we were enjoying our conversation so much. So I understand what this guy is talking about. Sometimes you just want to talk to a woman. It's like, why do we gotta get into all that? Like I went to, I got to know this one chick. It came home, it was like in the night, came home to the crib. She started pulling her pants down. I was like, what happened? Get to pull your pants. I was helping her pull her pants back up. I was like, can we talk? They don't want to talk no more. Anyway, so I'm going to read on. I just had to share that story. Secondly, if a woman finds out that you got a little bit of money or a nice job down here, they coming to do you in. Now, this is the real shame. I have had 3 black women sue me in 1 year saying that I am the baby daddy. I know some guys who have went through this. I know guys who actually went through this, and it's crazy because they trap you with this. And he wasn't even a baby daddy. He said, needless to say, the DNA proved that I was not the father. This dude sounds like a Jerry Springer. You are not the father. He says, I was not the father. All 3 times it proves that he wasn't the father. They slept with, you see what's happening? They slept with him, and they knew they was pregnant, but they knew he had a good job. So here's what they did. They got a bum dude at the crib, right? So they're just like, I know I'm pregnant. So the bum dude and them probably are just like, look, you got to do something because I ain't got no JLB. So she hits the club because you can't tell she's pregnant. She hits the club. She spots out a dude or wherever she goes, spots out a dude who was just like, yeah, comes on to him, get the digits. Let's go home. Let's bang it out. They go home, bang it out. Next thing you know, he gets a letter in the mail. You know what I'm saying? You the baby's daddy. He's like, nah, I'm not the father. Like, I know I'm not the father. These women brag about having babies and putting dudes on child support. I told y'all before, child support is a racket. So they can pretty much they can sit around and do nothing and just collect child support. I already talked about that in my Don't Get Married videos. They found out that I had a house. The man has a house. He has a good job. And they was on the nonsense after that. They pretty much found out he makes a decent living. And they was just going to siphon his money from him. He says he says he's from Chi-Town. He don't play that. He also says that he has a carry and conceal. He ain't no gangster, but he will go ahead and protect himself. He's saying if it goes down, he's going to go ahead and pop first. He said Chi-Town is a lot rougher, which I truly believe that. Everybody knows it. He says it's rougher than the ATL. He said he had to pull his weapon on somebody in a gas station. And in Marietta. He said they tried to rob him in Marietta. He said some guy was trying to rob me in the parking lot while the police was right outside. Like they so brazen right now. It's crazy. He said, I ain't going. It's going to be a shootout. He's like, basically, it's going to be a shootout. They love home invasions down there. R. Kelly just got hit with a home invasion right there in the AT rail. Just got hit, home invasion big time. So he said they love home invasions and carjacking down there. So carjacking is a huge thing. Funny, I never wanted to be in. He was talking about me being an extra, and because I said I want to be a movie extra, and this guy has, he's doing that type of thing down there. And he says people up north try to support black businesses more than people who live here. He said it is hard to find good people here at all. He's talking about in Atlanta. Everyone wants to put on a coon. They all front. Another person who commented said the same thing. Pretend they are more than who they really are. Everybody's a producer. Everybody's a singer. Everybody's a rapper. They all struggling. And some of them actually making it down there. I told you my friend went down there to make it. He was a great musician, and it just didn't work out for him. He had all type of talent. A person would rather buy. He was talking about a person would rather buy a Mercedes, and put a lot of years on Mercedes just to say they have a Mercedes instead of going out and buying a Kia Optima. A Kia Optima is a great car, strictly because they want to be flashy. He says it's hilarious, and anybody. He said, can't nobody from there drive. Somebody else commented when I said that I didn't have a car, and because I would just take the bus everywhere, or I rode my bike. And he was like, you need a car down there. I didn't need a car. The jobs that I had was on the bus line. So I was okay with that. I really didn't need a car. My sister had a car anyway when I lived with her. And then when I lived by myself, I just caught the bus everywhere. And I did great. I needed to go to the store. I'd catch the bus, or the store was right down the street. I mean, I really did okay. When I wanted to go to the mall was right down the street. I just rode my bike down there, chained my bike up, went to the movies, got on my, so I was okay. But this brother's story is just amazing. And this is the last thing he said. Said nobody from there can drive. He said he bought a dash cam, and after witnessing 2 accidents on the 85 in the same day, on the same trip, he said he went to Walmart and bought himself a dash cam. I have one too. He said he put it on his car right there in the lot. And he said while he was driving, he said while I was driving home in the afternoon, I caught 3 accidents on the 20. He said, man, this place makes me feel that I should have just gone to Houston. A lot of people, I got some family living in Houston now. They're just like, well, I'm going to Houston. But since I'm here, I'm going to try to make the best of a bad situation. I just had to share that comment because it encapsulated a lot of what a group of people who are from Atlanta, who just moved to Atlanta, who've been living in Atlanta for a long time and not from there. A lot of people have migrated from there to there, and this is one individual who migrated to there. He's successful, and he's being targeted. And you're going to find a lot of that, man. I tried to cover some of that in just different videos, but I wanted to, I had to read that because I'm not the only one who's going through that or has gone through that, and this guy is not the only one who's gone through his situation. I told you guys Atlanta's something else. Now, a lot of people are like, if you go down to Atlanta, it's a hustle. People can make it there. One guy said, name me one place, he said, that's better than Atlanta. And then another guy said, he said, the Atlanta news is why he stopped watching the news many, many years ago. It was so negative. So, look, my experience, and then some woman commented, and a lot of people keep talking about, I went down to Atlanta with no skills. This guy had no skills, and he had no job, he had no car, he had no this and no that. What do you expect? I want to make something clear to you guys. When I went to Atlanta, I had already worked for the Ohio House of Representatives. I could have easily went down there and gotten into politics. I went down there and I was working at the museum. Okay, I was a security guard at the museum, and I was also a security guard at a hospital. But I was suit and tied at the hospital, the security guard, which is also suit and tie there. But nonetheless, both of those jobs I did good. I was doing okay. I wasn't living like a bum. I wasn't homeless. I was doing okay. So to say that I had no skills, plus I'm military, I was military when I was 19. So when I went to Atlanta, I'd already had military skills. I could have easily just went and became a cook or, did that whole thing. I worked for hotels. I worked for plenty of hotels. I worked for nursing homes. I had plenty of skills just to keep saying this. and get this out. It's just that I didn't really go down there and just blitz the whole market for jobs. I went down there, I found very quickly the temporary service to work for, and when I found that temporary service, I was happy with what I was doing. And the reason why I didn't stay there and tough it out and just go ahead and get another job is because I was down there to see my little girl and to try to, spend time with her, to get to know her better and all of this other stuff because I live so far from her. I'm like, well, I'll just move to your city. That was my whole purpose of moving there. I'm going to come be near you so I can, help nurture you and help watch you grow up and do all the things that a dad is supposed to do. That was my whole point. And when the baby's mom didn't correlate with my idea, once I got there, she was like, yeah, come down. Once I got there, she was, we weren't trying to be together, but she basically let me see her once. And then she just kept her to herself, like, no, you're not going to see her. Like, in a whole year. I was like, wait, what? So after I lost my jobs, I realized that I wasn't going to see my daughter, and then I left. That's why I left Atlanta. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there. There's a lot of other interesting comments. Some people love the ATL, some people don't like the ATL, but the majority of people are saying what I've said about the ATL. Yes, there is some good you can find down there. There's some plenty good. There's plenty of hustle down there. If you're about your hustle, go down there and hustle. Unfortunately, there seems to be more negative responses as the time grows. And mind you, I was there years ago, some 6-7 years ago. Actually, I was there, 10, 11, when Drumline came out. That's when I was there. So it was a long time ago. So things are just getting worse, is what I'm saying. And the more people that are out of jobs or can't find jobs or don't want to find jobs, the more they're going to target the people who have jobs, and the more scams and the more bandos you're going to see, and the more people, drugged out, flipping drugs, and the more this music pushes Xanax and Xannies and all this. And they even got a person called Little Xanny. Like, you're a little drug head is what you are? That's what you are? Like, this whole movement of pushing these, instead of being the drug seller, they're the drug user now. So everybody's drugged out of their mind. So they ain't trying to work. So it's just bad. And the more music that you hear pushing this nonsense, just the more and more, the more recklessness, the more people making money on Instagram just doing stupid, reckless stuff. And, it's just bad. You gotta be careful. That's the reason why I don't go outside too much anymore. It's your boy Tom 202, man. Listen, God loves you. And when I say that, I mean that. Jesus, the Yeshua, the Christ loves you. He literally, when you say somebody went to hell and back, God literally, Jesus, the Christ literally went to hell and was there for 3 days just so you don't have to go. And I mean that. So you need to get to know Christ. He suffered everything in hell that you can imagine just so you don't have to go there. It's your boy Tom, man. Get yourself saved. Regardless of what you think of me or anyone else, you will stand alone before Christ. I'm out.